Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I am an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode number 263. It's the fifth show of the week. We've done 5 shows every day this week, and we probably will do it next week as well. Glad to be here with everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to Skyla. If you haven't already, go ahead and say hi to Skyla. She is watching over the comments. She's the one dropping the links. She's the one with the key to the waiting room. If you want to come on the show, just show up in the waiting room and then make sure that your camera's on so that I can see that there's a live person there, and then I'll go ahead and call on you. It's Friday, and that means hopefully all of you are getting ready for the weekend. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what fun things you're going to do this weekend. As for me, I'm going to go, coincidentally, when I first opened Hacking Immigration Law, I rented space from some lawyers, and they bought a building right behind our building, and they're having a happy hour right after this, which is why I'm dressed up a little bit. I'm going to head over to the happy hour. Tomorrow, my daughter Noor has a softball tournament to end her feeder league season, and then we're going to a trivia night tomorrow night, so that should be fun. Hope you all are going to have something fun to do this weekend. Let me know where you're watching, and I'll give you a shout out, and let me know what fun things you're going to do this weekend. Looks like, let's see, we got Shabir, of course, in New York. Sheldon's watching as always. Hi, Sheldon. We got Steve in Cleveland. We have Omaha, sunny California, Nigeria, Jamaica, San Antonio, Dubai, SoCal. Nobody's telling me anything fun they're going to do. They're just saying hi, which is okay. But let me know what fun things you're doing. So, all right. Massachusetts, Virginia, Dallas. All right, we got everybody watching all over the place. Let's go ahead and get started, and let's say hi to Cindy.
Hi, hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Good. I'm from Portland, Maine, where I live in Portland, Maine right now.
I've been to Portland, Maine. That's where there's a lighthouse there.
Yes, and I've been to St. Louis this summer.
Oh, nice. How'd you like it?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, great. Well, what can I help you with?
Okay, I'm just gonna be super short. So
Okay.
I came with B1, B2 visa, and then I applied for removal. I applied for the asylum, and few years ago, and then in less than a month, I got interviewed with USCIS, and they put me on a removal proceeding.
Yep.
That is 2018. And then I met my husband. He's a USC. And then, in 2020, we got married, and then we moved out of states from New York City to Maine.
Uh-huh.
So that means that my removal proceedings also moved from New York to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then we applied for the petition I-130 in November 2020, and complete silence. And then my lawyer, I do have a lawyer, so my lawyer told me, OPD is back. So you try to apply for the green card form, the 485. And that
applied for it in court, or applied for it with USCIS?
USCIS.
Before while the proceedings were still going on.
Yes,
yeah, and that was dumb.
And and I never get anything back anyway. So we applied for 485, and then in 3 months I got interview. So obviously I already know, and I came to the interview in end of June, because my removal proceeding is still not
terminated.
Thank you. The officer said, I'm going to approve your petition after 19 months, but we're going to
approve the I-130.
Correct. After 19 months. I brought like 500 pages of, supporting document, and she took it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my lawyer also filed for the PD request like a week before my interview. So it's been 4 months now. No news from Opla Boston. I asked my lawyer, is there anything you can do? Can you do motion of recalendar. He keeps saying that this is the best we can do. We keep applying for PD requests, but I told him, you've been applying for the PD request to Opla Boston for 2 times, in May and in August, but no news, no nothing. While my removal proceeding, my individual hearing, thank you, it's going to be in September 2023. I said, I don't want to wait this long. And he said, nothing I can do, just wait. So my question, the reason that I called to you today is I was wondering, is it true? Is it correct that nothing we can do except just wait until God knows when?
What did the USCIS officer say about your 485?
Oh, she just said to make it like administrative closure.
Yeah.
So I only need 3 steps actually, If Opla approve, hopefully the judge will approve, and then my lawyer gonna send the letter to USCIS to ask to open the case again. But it's been almost 5 months now, nothing from Opla.
Did the when your attorney asks for prosecutorial discretion, did they do that before or after the I-130 was approved?
Before. The first one before, and the second time after I got approved.
Okay. So that's not how we do it. They did it a little bit differently. So we just file the I-130, get that approved, then we file the PD. And I think that maybe that sending it too early probably didn't do you any good. It probably set up the office but I mean, they're giving out prosecutorial discretion like candy. Why does your lawyer handle a lot of deportation cases?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because so we don't do deportation anymore in our office, but in almost every town, there are, especially certainly in Boston, there are 3 or 4 or 5 deportation lawyers who are in deportation court every day.
Okay.
And it's one thing to just mail in the request, but it's another thing to know the government attorneys and say, hey, can we just make this one go away? That's what you need to happen. You need to, you need someone who can talk to the attorney for you, the prosecutor, the EOIR attorney to get. I just think it sounds like your lawyer doesn't have enough juice or doesn't know enough about the people. I mean, they've done things a little bit differently. You're lucky that USCIS didn't just flat out deny the case and keep your $1,225. They didn't have to, but they could have, and then you would have been screwed.
Yes.
So I think you're just either you need to switch lawyers, or you need to just keep waiting, one or the other. But I mean, Boston's a busy place. You might just be waiting till September. That just might be the deal.
Yeah, I try to call because I don't trust my, the paralegal. I don't trust my lawyer anymore. I try to call them Opla many times and always go straight to the voice message.
Yeah, they're really busy, but they can't talk to you. If you have an attorney, they can't. The government attorneys can't talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks, Cindy. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's say hi to Mealy. Hi, Mealy.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
So I have some questions. I haven't applied yet. I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I'm planning to apply on February next year because I'm going to Argentina for the holidays, and I wanted to know if that is a problem, me leaving and then coming back married to a U.S. citizen. I haven't applied to anything yet.
Yeah.
Is that something that?
So you're an Argentinian national?
Yeah.
And you're in the United States, and what kind of a status?
Right now is on an F1 visa. I'm a student.
Yeah. And when does your I-20 expire?
My I-20 is 40 years, so I have 3 more years to go. And
so you're like a freshman?
Yeah, just started.
And so you entered on the F1 and then you got married?
Exactly.
How long after you entered on the F1 did you get married?
This was like 7 months after.
Okay. Well, it's certainly, and does your is the visa stamp in your passport for your F1 still valid? I'm sure it is.
It is. It expires next year in June or something like that because my passport is expiring. So I have to renew it when I get to Argentina. That's something that I have planned.
So that's when I think you're going to have the problem. I mean, you should be able to, I mean, first of all, from a purely immigration standpoint, you shouldn't leave until the safest thing to do would be to apply for your green card and not leave until you get it, get the travel document, right? But that's going to take 8 months. So you'd miss Christmas and all that stuff at home.
Yeah, but if I do it after I come back, that's what I mean. I wasn't going to apply until I come back.
I'm just telling you the hierarchy. So the absolute
okay.
safest is to not leave until you apply, because now when you come back, you're going to be on a non-immigrant visa, but you're married to a U.S. citizen. In theory, some customs official could give you a hard time and not let you back in. I think the chance of that is like 1%. But of course, if it happens, that's a big problem, right? You can't go to school. You can't be here. You got to sort of start the whole marriage process from overseas, and that can take 1.5 years or 2 years. But I think, so it's one of those things that happens a lot in immigration, very small chance of something happening, but huge consequence if it does.
Yeah.
Right. So from a purely immigration standpoint, my advice is stay here till you get advanced parole after getting married, after applying for the green card. If you're going to go, I think you'll be okay. I certainly can't guarantee it. But then, as soon as you get back, then you want to apply.
Yeah.
And when you travel, you want to make sure that you have proof you're still in school, that you finished the semester, that you're an ongoing student. And if they ask you, why'd you go and come back? I mean, I think you just say I'm an international student and I was going home to see family. But if they say, are you married to any U.S. citizen or who do you live with? I think you got to be really honest, because you don't want that to come back and bite you later.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they like the question of, do you have an immigration intent, should I be honest with that too?
I would say, my intention is to finish school. I am married to a U.S. citizen. I'm sure at some point that we'll apply for a green card. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. And that's a good point. I wouldn't apply right after you get back. I'd wait at least 60 days to apply. 60
days. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. I don't think the real rule is getting married within the 60 days, but I think applying within the 60 days could also be a problem. So I would come back in January and then wait until April 1st to apply.
Wow. Okay. That's really good to know.
So then the other thing you need to think about is, once your visa stamp in your passport expires, so like next year, you should really be sure that you have your green card by then, because if you don't, then you're going to have to go back. If you leave the United States and go back to Argentina and your visa's expired, then you're going to have to go to the embassy, and that's where they're really going to give you trouble about giving you a new F1 when you're married to a U.S. citizen. That's really when immigrant intent comes up.
Yeah. Should I renew it? Should I renew that F1 visa or just?
No, just come back and apply for the green card in April.
And that should be enough.
When exactly does your visa expire?
June. Yeah, June 2023.
June next year. Yeah, so next summer you're stuck here.
No, yeah, I knew that because I was going to apply for the green card and I can't leave until I get it. So I knew that I wasn't going to leave.
Until you get advanced parole. Once you get advanced parole, you can leave.
Yeah, but it's also not great to leave even with advanced parole, right?
Correct.
I've been watching all your videos. I've done my homework.
Awesome.
So I had a question about what is it called? Records for the U.S. citizen. So my husband had at some point an expunged record that shouldn't be appearing anywhere else, but I don't know if that's going to cause.
What was it for?
It was like when he was 19 years old at a club for a document, like a fake ID.
Okay. Yeah, no, that'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Then for addresses that you have to, when you have to put the history of your addresses where you lived in the past, Should they be the ones that are official, like that they were in a document somewhere, or even if I lived in Buenos Aires for a while, but this was not in any document because it was a place that my parents had. Like I never changed my ID address there.
How long were you there?
3 years.
Yeah, you need to list an address you were at for 3 years for sure.
All right. And what about college here? My husband here in the US, like when he lived somewhere else for college too, like a
I'd
college
say
dorm.
yeah, anything more than a month you should list. Yeah.
Okay. Even college dorms and things like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you need to go crazy with college dorms, but just pick one.
Okay. Sure. I don't want to take your time too much.
Okay.
So sorry. Does being a member of my school count as being part of a group of an
No.
organization?
No.
Amazing.
No, but if you're in like a sorority or a group in the school, that would be yes.
Okay. And then this one is important. I have a social security card because I work on campus. And the social security card says that it's restricted, like valid for work only with the HS authorization. Should I ask for a new card or just tell them that I don't need any because I have one?
You mean when you apply?
Yeah, like in the I-765.
Yeah,
If I
you'll
should put
apply.
that I need a new one.
Yes, you should.
I need a new one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I had an extension of status in 2020 that was denied, but because I left the country before they even accepted it. Would that be a problem? I have
No.
all the paperwork to show them to be fine about it.
Because of COVID?
Yeah, I asked for an
Yeah.
extension and
No,
then
you'll be fine. And your spouse is a U.S. citizen, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Oh, I have one more question. I'm so sorry I'm taking so long.
Okay.
So my husband is unemployed temporarily because he's in school, but he
Sure.
can he can show more than 5 times the poverty line in assets. Is
No.
that correct? To
No,
show
go find
five?
a co-sponsor.
Yeah. Even
Don't mess,
if the assets is enough, no.
don't mess with that. It'll slow down your case.
Okay. All right. I think that's all right.
All right. Thanks, Millie. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you for everything you do.
See ya. All right. Let's say hi to Surway. Surway, are you with us?
Hello, yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. This is the first time that I joined this
Awesome, thanks.
live stream.
I think you connected with me on LinkedIn, didn't you?
Yes, it was
Awesome. What can I help you with?
okay. So I submitted I-94, I-290B form like 4 months ago with strong supporting evidence in response to NBC, National Benefit Center, which
Wait.
denied.
Hold on. Let's back up. Where are you from?
I am from Iran and I am a PhD student here. I came to the United States in 2018.
F1 or J1?
F1 status.
Okay, and then what are you appealing in your 290B?
Because I filed my I-485 form in 2021.
Based on
My husband is a green card holder, so
okay.
I applied through him. Yes,
So
and then
hold on. I got you. I got you. I know what to ask. How did your husband get his green card?
Through NIW. He was
Okay.
a PhD student too, and through the paper citations and something like that.
Okay, and when he got his green card, were you already married or no?
No, we married after when he got his green card. So it was
Okay.
after.
Did USCIS approve the I-130 that he filed for you?
It is still pending. And also they closed my other application, like the authorization for work. There was, I think,
Why didn't they approve the I-130?
I don't know. They just sent me the denial letter for 485.
What's it say the reason is in the 485 for the denial?
Okay. So the denial was a clear mistake because the reason was that my F1 status was deactivated on August 28, 2020, 2 years ago, which is completely false statement because I have been in lawful non-immigrant F1 status from 2018, and I've been registered every semester. I don't know why they thought that my F1 status
So
would be activated.
did you talk to the school about whether they ever terminated your CVIS record?
Yes, and they gave me very strong supporting documents, and I enclosed those documents to 290B form.
Hold on. So is it our position? This is sort of a subtle distinction I'm going to try to make. Okay, I'm trying to get clear on are we saying that the school? What's the date that they say your status was deactivated? August what? 2020.
28, August 28, 2020. It is the day that my school just because of the COVID deactivated my service record just for maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, I don't know, and then
1 minute.
Yes, they transferred my service record from main campus of my school to engineering campus. So basically,
hold on. Was that something that you asked them to do, or that they did on their own?
They did on their own. I think they did for every international student.
So from your perspective, you're just going to school like normal. You never missed class, never missed tuition, never dropped out, never asked to have your record terminated. And then because of some like click error by someone at the university, there was a moment of your record being terminated. Oh my God, how stupid. Okay.
But they activated it simultaneously right after that deactivated it. So I was
hold on. Okay.
Yep.
So this is some bullshit. This is because you're Iranian. So what happened? So which field office had your I-130 interview? Where did you have your I-130 interview? Or did you have an I-130 interview?
I didn't have any interview. I just had fingerprint interview before getting denial last year in September last year.
So if I looked up the I-130 receipt notice right now, it would say it's still pending.
I have I-130 is still pending, yes, and I-131 is closed.
Right, I got that part. Are you still in school?
Yes, I'm still in school, but my concern is that I'm about to graduate. I should defense by the end of April, and it is almost 4 months that I didn't receive anything from USCIS except the receipt notice.
Okay, so the I-130 is still pending, and then when did you file the 290B?
4 months ago, on June.
June. And did you do that on your own, or did a lawyer do that for you?
A lawyer did that for me.
Okay, and when you got the denial notice on the 485, which office said that your 485 was denied?
Office in Chicago, but the notice was from National Benefit Center. Okay,
so I'm mad for you, right? I'm mad. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
I'm so mad.
I can't believe it. I mean, first of all, did they send you a notice of intent to deny or RFE or anything, or they just outright denied it?
No, they didn't ask for any like extra evidence to, support myself. They just told me that this case is denied and you just have 1 month or 2 months, I think, to file 290B form unless you should leave the country.
Right. You should sue them. sue them for 4 different things. You should sue them. When did you file the I-130?
I-130 with 485 last year, July last year.
July of 2021.
2021, yes.
And did you say you go to school in Chicago?
No, school in Michigan.
Michigan. Okay. Like
yes.
Eastern Michigan or Western Michigan?
Western Michigan.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think you called to hear me get mad and cuss and say that you should sue them. But what did you want to know? But what I think you should do is sue them. But go ahead and ask me whatever questions you'd like.
Yeah, I was wondering to know your opinion. What can I do? Because I'm desperate right now. I don't know what to do. Even I contacted a congressman, and he contacted USCIS to get an estimation time when I will get a response from them. But they said that we don't have any processing time for these forms. So I'm really worried. I don't know what to do, actually.
Okay, so I think that there's lots of stuff wrong with this case, okay? Number one, they're taking too long to decide the I-130. If you're married, if you've never been married before, your husband's never been married before, and you have the freedom to marry, the I-130 should have been approved. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two, they did not issue a notice of intent to deny. They didn't give you any opportunity to respond to this. This was a complete due process violation, okay? They did not follow their own procedures. And number three, the denial is factually wrong. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. And I think they're treating you unfairly because you're from Iran and they're discriminating against you. So I would sue them. And I think if we sue them, they'd approve the I-130. They would reopen your case and they would grant the green card, or at least conduct an interview, which is what you need. You need a green card interview so that you can get your green card. I think if we sued them, we would get an interview probably in about 2.5 or 3 months, and probably a decision a month before that. So other than that, that 290B could last for a year and a half. There's no urgency. Yeah, that's a big stack of people challenging dumb things USCIS does. But for everybody who's listening, I hope you see this is how dumb they are, how stupid they are, how they can't even look at their own computer system to figure out that she's never missed a class. She's never done anything wrong. She's done everything to maintain her F1 status. This is, to me, it's pretty outrageous. Like I get mad, Sirway, about some lawsuits, but like if Jim's regular anger level on a scale of 1 to 100 is about 20 or 25 or 30, yours like really makes me mad. It's like 85 or 90. Like, they really did you wrong.
Yes. So how can I sue USCIS?
Yeah. So if you want to, since you already contacted me on LinkedIn, just send me your email address. Have you called the office at all, or did you just come right on here?
I called today, was the first day that they answered me, but they didn't give me any extra information.
Yeah, that's okay. Just put your email address in the LinkedIn to me, and then I'll email you over the weekend.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
I'm sorry they're treating you like this. This sucks.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
That's how they do. That is how they do. It's just completely illegal. Completely and utterly illegal. They're not treating her fairly. They're not following their own regulations. They're not following the law. It's a joke. This agency is an absolute joke. I can't wait to see that denial decision. I'm going to give her a discount on the lawsuit because I'm so pissed. And I'm going to do it myself. That is some BS. All right. Poor Sirway. All right. Now, I got someone waiting in the waiting room with an American flag in the background. I almost think I have to go to Timothy now. Hi, Timothy.
Hey, Jim, that was a good introduction, by the way. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
So this one is for one of my friends. So
Okay.
he filed for adjustments of status about a year and a half ago. So he came in the U.S. as a student, so F1 visa. So he got married to a U.S. citizen. And when they filed the adjustment of status, they also filed uh, the 765 to get his work permit, the
Yep.
I-131 as well for for travel documents. And after about like a year after the file, they didn't hear anything, and they just received like in the mail that like the the application was not accepted for some reason, and the reason why was they sent them like a letter because his wife um taxes, so she was not making like that much money basically, but
She
like they
wasn't.
never.
She wasn't making a lot of money.
Yes, so they need like a co-sponsor.
So
Yeah.
did they move at all since the time that they filed?
They never moved.
They never moved.
They never moved, and they never
And
received that letter.
and they receive did the deny so when did the denial notice come? Do you know?
About 5 to 6 months ago.
Okay, so let's say that was in
Uh,
let's say April.
yeah, about April. Yeah, April, May.
Okay. And so in the denial notice that came in April, did it say,
Yeah.
hey, we sent you a request for evidence asking for the taxes and you never sent it, so that's why we're denying it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what they said.
But
Yes.
he had never gotten that first letter.
He never got that letter.
Okay. So it sounds since 5 or 6 months went by, it sounds like they have to start over.
Okay, because what he did was they tried to fight the decision, and I think he filed like another form, and they paid like he said about like 600 to reopen the case.
That's that I-290B that the last caller was talking about. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that isn't what I would have done. It's just easier to start over because he's not going to get his work card. He's not going to get his travel document. I would have just said, yeah, they screwed me, but I would have just started over. And because now he's wasting money on that appeal or motion to reopen, that could take a year. If he had refiled right away, then he would have already had his work card by now, which is probably.
And what's funny, they did like reopen the case and took him like to refile the I-485, the adjustment of status. So he did that, right? And he received like another letter saying that he got denied because he didn't pay the fee for the 485. So
let me get this straight. So my man, this is again, everybody, an agency that doesn't know how to do their job. So let's just recap. So husband and wife, U.S. citizen, file an I-130, 485, 765, and a 131.
Yes.
USCIS takes their $535 for the I-130, takes their $1,225 for the green card. Then they send the an RFE to the wrong address. Clients never got it. Then they deny the case.
Yeah.
Then clients spend, I think it's $680 to appeal.
Yeah, that's something like that. He said about 600 something.
And then the government says, "Oh wow, you're right. We made a mistake. We're gonna reopen your case. Go ahead and file another 485." So he follows their instructions.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Oh, ha, sorry, your 485 is denied because you didn't pay the filing fee."
The filing fee, yep, exactly. So now he's wondering, like, what can he do? Like, he don't know what to do exactly. So
what's up with the I-130? Has the I-130 been approved?
So the I-130 has been approved.
Yeah. So what I would do if I were him is, one, I would hire our office to help. That's one thing.
Okay.
But the other one is I would just go ahead and pay the $1,225 because he could waste another year fighting over whether or not he has to pay the $1,225. I would act as if I've never filed a 485. I would say,
Okay.
Hey, USCIS, I have an I-130 approval notice. Here it is. Here's my new 485, my 765, my 131. I'd make sure that I had a co-sponsor. If my spouse didn't make enough money, I'd have everything perfect so that things can move forward. He keeps getting jerked off in all these other directions, and he's not getting the ultimate prize, which is the green card.
Green card. Okay. So just refile anything and just have a lawyer,
Yeah,
and
with
contact you.
the I-130. Yeah, so
Or the approval.
they're morons. Yeah, with the approval.
Okay. And how much do you charge for that, if I can ask you?
If the I-130's been approved, it'd probably be somewhere around $3,500 for us.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Awesome, Jim. I'll let him know, and he gonna get in touch with you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Have
much,
a great
Jim.
weekend, brother. See ya.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's say hi to Davlet. Hi, Davlet.
Hey, Jim. Can you hear me well?
Davlet.
Hello. Okay. Hello. How are you?
Go for it.
I'm calling from Turkey, Istanbul. I got a DV 2023 lottery, and I have one question about the removal. So back in 2016, I was residing in Turkey for the last 7 years. So back in 2016, I applied for the residency permit here in Turkey, and I was illegally residing in Turkey for 3 or 4 days, and they notified me, and they invited me to leave Turkey, and I left and got back to Turkey again, and I have been living here for the last, I think, 6 years legally, and now I'm not sure if I should mention it in my DS-260 form.
What question would make you answer yes or bring that up? Why would you bring that up?
There was a question about the deportation. I couldn't get any information about the deportation, or was it a removal or something like that from immigration services.
They mean from the United States. They don't mean from
Turkey. But they were asking specifically from any other country and specifically from United States. Should I mention, and will it affect my application?
It shouldn't affect your application. I guess maybe they do ask that now on the DS-260, but I don't think it'll affect your application. And I don't know. Are you sure that you were actually deported from Turkey? Like, I think you need to talk to an immigration lawyer.
Sorry, I lost you there. I'm on a train.
It's okay. I think you need to talk to an immigration lawyer in Turkey and have them figure out whether you were actually deported, because it would be nice if you didn't have to say yes to that question.
I'm pretty much 90% sure that I was not deported, because to the deported people who are residing in Turkey, they put a ban of 3 or 4 years. They are not able to come back. I was able to come back after 3 days, after they invited me to leave the country. I went to another country and I came back after 3 days, and I just applied for the resident.
I still think it'd be worthwhile to talk to an immigration lawyer in Turkey and ask them what they think.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much for everything.
Good luck on the diversity visa, Dovlet. See you, buddy.
All right.
That was Dovlet talking to us live from Turkey on a train, if you can believe that. Let's say hi to Parth. Hi, Parth. Parth, are you there? Can't hear you with those headsets on. Nope. I'll come back, Parth. See what's up with the audio. All right. Let's say Menahem. Hi, Menahem.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a question that my I-130 was approved in 2019. A divorce certificate, there was an annulment certificate I submitted. With that annulment certificate, it was approved. And when it went to my country, where my wife is, in the meantime, my luggage was stolen, so I lost all the original paper. So in the embassy, my wife couldn't show the original copies. I was asked to get a copy of the original copy of that annulment paper. I couldn't show. I got a copy, but they said it's not a divorce paper. So in United States, I'm a United citizen. I filed a divorce certificate and submitted again. But after that, on June 14th, 2022, they returned back to the embassy, and now the case is on July 28th, 22, with the USCIS. It's written there, not eligible to receive a visa, and send this petition along with the supporting document to a U.S. citizen and Immigration Service.
So let's back up a minute. So Manaham, what country are you from?
I'm from Bangladesh.
And how many times in your life have you been married?
4 times.
4 times. Okay. What was the first name of the first person you were married to?
Margaret Baroya.
Okay. And then that was number 1. Who's number 2?
Rosalind.
Okay. And number 3?
Ima.
And then number 4?
Taslima.
Baslima?
Yes.
Okay. And what did one of these people sponsor you for a green card?
No.
How did you become a U.S. citizen?
I became a U.S. citizen. My green card was with the labor certification.
Okay, so through work.
Through work.
Okay, and then what happened to your marriage with Margaret?
A lot of issues of.
Well, I don't need the details. I just mean legally what happened. Divorced, widowed?
Divorce.
And where did you get divorced from Margaret?
In United States.
Okay, and then how about Rosalind?
Rosalind was the annulment from India.
Okay, and then what about Ima?
Ima from Bangladesh.
Divorced?
Yes, divorced.
And then what's the date of your marriage to Baslima?
2016, December 9th.
Okay, and then so then when did you file? You filed an I-130 petition with USCIS to bring Baslima to the United States, right?
That was in 2017 in May.
And then when did USCIS approve it?
Approved it July 23rd, 2019, because I filed it myself. I made a mistake on the I-130 form.
What mistake did you make?
And because of that, they called me. In the meantime, I moved from one state to another state. I let them know, but they send a letter to the old address for an interview because the mistake.
Hold on. Let's back up a little bit. Okay, first of all, one question I forgot to ask. Did you ever try to give any immigration benefits to Margaret, Rosalind, or Ima based on your immigration? Like, in other words, did you ever sponsor them for I-130s before, or is this the first I-130 you ever filed?
Yeah, Margaret, I sponsored, yes.
Okay, and how about Rosalind?
Rosalind also I sponsored.
Okay, and then how about Ima?
Ima, somebody else sponsored.
So this is your third person you're trying to sponsor for a marriage-based green card based on the fact that they were married to you. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. Well, just so you know, they don't like that, right?
Right.
Okay. And so, okay. So in May of 2017, you filed the I-130, and then something happened on July 23rd, 2019. I missed what happened on July 23rd, 2019.
July 23rd, 2019, the I-130 was approved.
Okay. All right. And then what was the mistake on the I-130 that you said you made?
In the beginning, the mistake was the column where it's written that whether I was married before or not. By mistake, I wrote no.
Oh, shit.
I was not married, but I submitted all the documents, all the divorce papers.
So, okay. So to be clear, so the idea that someone who's been married 4 times and has sponsored 3 people now for an I-130, the idea that someone like that could do that without a lawyer is insane.
Right.
That was
That
insane.
was the mistake.
So what you're saying though is that you filed an I-130, and on the I-130, when it says, "Hey Menahem, have you, the U.S. citizen, ever been married before?" You said no, but you included the marriage certificates and the 2 divorces and the annulment for Margaret, Rosalind, and Ema. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So you sort of have this argument that I at least put you on notice that there were these marriages, but if you only relied on the box I checked, then I'm in trouble, right?
Right.
Okay. So in any event, USCIS approves the I-130 in 2019, and then they send it to the National Visa Center, right?
Right.
And then you're pending there for a while. You paid the fees and all that business, and then it gets sent over to Bangladesh for her interview. Is that right?
Right.
Did she have the interview?
Yeah, she had interviewed 2 times.
Okay. And before she went to her interview, did you let her know that you had made that mistake on the I-130, or did she go into that blind?
No, she knew that. I explained her.
Okay. All right. So then what?
Then
What I guess what happened at the 2 interviews is my question.
First interview was during that first COVID time in 2020. She went there and she, they asked all kinds of questions, and then nothing happened. She came back. They asked a lot of questions.
Okay. Did they ask her about Menahem, the man who's been married to 4 people? Did they ask her about that?
Yes. And she, whatever she knew, she did tell. She just couldn't explain the whole deep thing.
Why? Why couldn't she?
I don't know. She said that my husband was married for 3 times before.
So it's not like you were hiding things from her. She didn't know.
No. Nothing was hidden. She knew everything. I was married 3 times before.
What happened at the second one?
Second one, I withdraw because I came to know that she was not going to stay with me. So I didn't. I withdrew the case from this country.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So after all this, Menahem, you're telling me that when she goes into the second interview, you withdrew the case because you're mad at Basilimian.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought about the second wife. Now, second interview, they ask about her. She. I don't know. I think I don't want to discuss about that. There's a religion issue, so maybe.
You mean are you guys different religions?
Yes, but she came to my religion.
Okay. Let me ask you this question: is there a big age gap?
Almost 18 years.
Okay, that's not too bad. How much time would you say that you and she have stayed together in the same house overnight total?
Well, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. Each year I went there. I stayed there 1 month.
Okay. All right.
1 month.
Now, okay. So then you said somewhere along the line that they asked for the original documents related to your divorce from Margaret, your annulment from Rosalind, and your divorce from Ema, right?
Yeah.
Was that was that the second interview or what?
No. During the interview, they never asked about this paper at all.
Okay, when did they ask for it?
This was after second interview. They mailed a letter to my wife that they need that second wife's annulment original paper. Well,
Okay.
by that time they were thinking that is the divorce paper. So I tried to get.
Somehow it got messed up, and they thought, like, they asked her for, basically they asked her for the divorce decrees from Margaret, Rosalind, and Ema. Is that right?
No, only because I submitted Margaret and Ema's earlier. That was correct. This is only for Rosalind.
So tell me about the annulment story. Which part of India was the annulment done in?
Calcutta.
And did you go to Calcutta to get the annulment?
No, I did not.
How did you get the annulment in Calcutta?
I have talked with her, and she was agreed, and she went to the court and got that.
Okay, so you didn't participate in the annulment, right?
No.
Okay, and so she asked, or I'm sorry, the embassy in Dhaka in Bangladesh asked for the original annulment, and what did she have, or what did you guys give them?
Later on, I went there, and she went to court and get another copy, similar like that. I don't think it's exactly like that.
Okay, and so now they've said, we're sending this case back to USCIS for possible revocation because we don't know if Menahem was properly annulled from Rosalind and therefore might not have been eligible to marry Baslima, right?
That I don't know. But in the meantime, last January, I filed a divorce here in the United States, and I got the divorce and I sent it back to them.
Wait a minute. Now, who told you to do that?
I did it.
Oh my God. So, okay. So this case is over. You can't get divorced after an invalid marriage and then make that marriage valid. So if you were not free to marry Baslima, when you married her in 2016,
right,
then that I-130 should be revoked or withdrawn or whatever. You got it?
Okay.
So that means you have to file a new I-130 and start over.
Yes, but should I do that while waiting to get an answer from USCIS, or just go ahead file it?
Well, first of all, I would hire a lawyer. Number one.
Yes. Yeah.
Number two, I would withdraw the I-130. I would notify wherever it is sitting right now. I would notify, say, hey, I want to withdraw this case. Getting the divorce is probably the right call. Getting a divorce from the United States, because now they can't say later on. But the only problem is, by doing that, then you're sort of admitting that the annulment wasn't legally valid, and therefore marriage number one to Baslima. But now you're going to have to go get married to Baslima again. You understand that, right?
Oh, okay.
Do you understand why?
I think I kind of understand too.
Well, think about it. Think about it this way. So, in order, let's say that there's a door at the mosque,
right?
Whether or not you get into the mosque to meet with the sheikh and marry Baslima, okay? Let's say the door's closed. If you have a prior marriage that's still in place, you can't open that door.
Okay.
Right? And anything, if you sneak into the mosque and get married before the doors open, then that marriage doesn't really count. And you can't get any immigration benefit from it. Okay? So in theory, this marriage to Baslima in 2016 was not valid.
Right.
So that means that even today, or up until the day you got divorced, you were still legally married to Rosalind, according to the way they think.
Right.
So anything that you did before that divorce, anybody you tried to marry before the divorce has no legal power.
Okay.
It's as if it never happened. Right?
Okay.
And actually, it could be a little bit worse, because if I'm them and I want to screw you, I could see them saying, oh, Menahem, you tried to trick us. You married Beslima while you were still married to Rosalind. And we think you tried to sneak past us, and that was immigration fraud. And therefore, we're not going to let you bring Beslima. I don't think they'll do that, but it's possible. So you really need to be careful with what you do next. I'm okay with getting divorced, but
Okay.
you need to withdraw that case fast, and then you need to go over to Bangladesh, marry her again, and then start over as if you just got married.
Okay.
I have one kicker for you. One last question, okay?
Okay.
Did you and she have any kids?
No.
Okay, good. That would make things more complicated, because then technically they would have been born out of wedlock, right? So now the one question, Menahem, people have with me in situations like this is they say, Jim, how can I go back to Bangladesh and get married to Beslima again if we got married back in 2016? Do you want to know the answer to that question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's that the American government doesn't believe my marriage was valid because I had a prior annulment that didn't get fully completed. So I have to get married again, because under the law in America, that marriage from 2016 to Beslima wasn't valid.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And just so you know, I've literally had this case probably 10 times. Like, I like working on these cases. They're interesting. They're hard. This is a hard case, and the problem is, at the end of the day, she's going to be going back to that embassy in Bangladesh, and she's not going to have a little file. She's going to have a big old thick file with all this stuff that happened before. So there's really going to have to be a lot of explanation, a lot of sorry, a lot of oops, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't trying to trick anybody. I just was doing it on my own. I didn't really know what I was doing. But for everybody watching, I think this is one of the reasons why it's really important to work with a lawyer, especially when things get a little more complicated than usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for me?
How to withdraw that case now if I want to do, or should I go through a lawyer? Or
yeah, I would just tell the lawyer, hopefully you hire our office. It'd be fun to work on your case. If you hire us or whatever lawyer you hire, I would say, not only do I need you to file this new I-130 for me when I go over to Bangladesh and get married to Beslima, I also need you to help me withdraw the case. They'll know what to do. It's not a big deal, but you want to do it right and you want to make it clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Menahem. See you, buddy.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Wow, that was something. Sorry that took so long. I may do a show tomorrow. I may not. Otherwise, it's Monday. That was something else. That I haven't heard a story like that in a long time. We wish Menahem the best. We also wish he had contacted us before. There were some serious comments going on during that, and I appreciate everybody's comments. It actually kept me going. I know it sounds crazy, but just about everything in that case I've had. I don't know that I've had someone sponsor 3 different people before. I've certainly had 2. But that annulment could prove problematic, because if he's from a Muslim country, they could even say that he tried to marry 2 people at once. So you have the, hey, did you try to trick us? And the, hey, did you try to have 2 wives at once? And hey, was this a legally operative, valid marriage? There's a lot going on with that case. So it doesn't sound like old Menahem wanted to hire us, but if he does, I would think that's going to be a little higher legal fee than usual. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Sorry I couldn't get to everybody. We had some long calls today, but I think you guys will find those interesting. That was something else. Yeah, Boss Bob says, give us a like if you can. give us a new review and visit our new website. Let us know what you think. But if you want to go to reviewhackinglaw.com, we'd really appreciate it. We could use some more 5-star reviews. And yeah, that was something else, Glenn. I just don't know what to say about all that. That was that was the comments were something. We haven't had comments that good since the guy came on without his shirt on, laying on his futon when everybody went apeshit that one time. But Manam seemed like a nice guy. He certainly seemed sincere. I think he was just in over his head. And wow, I'm gonna have to tell my wife about that one. All right, everybody, have these comments are killing me. I will. I'll see you guys on Monday. I guess it's 1 o'clock. Is it 1 o'clock on Monday, Skyla? I think it is. Usually it is. Yep, Monday at 1. All right, guys. Peace out.